Once we find out where we're going to drop, we pretty much prep the load, make sure it's all good for flying. We'll chuck it on depending on what it is. So depending on the size of the load and how much we need, we'll put it on either compact load or light equipment, or we can chuck it on platform. So with our low velocity parachutes, obviously bigger parachute, which causes the load to essentially fall to the ground slower. There's a high velocity load, that just means there's no wind limitations and the loads pretty much hit the ground harder and faster. The way those parachutes work, there's little slits in there. We rig it up, get the paras on, say from ground up. A competent rigger should be able to rig it in 45 minutes. Maximum weights depend on the load itself and the parachutes, and obviously there's all the different calculations that go into it. So depending on your parachutes, for our compact loads up to 2,200 pounds. We use pounds because the C-130s were manufactured in the States, so they use pounds in the States. The helicopters were manufactured in Europe, so we use the unit of measurements, which is kgs. If we don't rig it properly, from the sling assembly point of view, our loads can fall out in the air. Rig up the loads, and then from there we'll get our parachutes from Parapackers, chuck the parachute on, make sure everything's good to go. One of the last things we do for our loads is to calculate the density of the load, so then when the load exits the aircraft, depending if it's outside the ramp or the door, it doesn't fly up and hit the aircraft in the slipstream, and then it goes across to the Air Force. Our aircraft will fly into the DZ, or the drop zone, and then the aircraft will call onto the DZ and ask for, our wind. So we have our wind, the direction, and then they'll send that back to the nav, and then the nav will obviously do their calculations, and then that's when they give the green light to drop.